What's up, guys? We're back with another video. Today we're going to be addressing the car issues that I'm having with a possible exhaust leak. Maybe down in here somewhere, could be here, could be up in there, not too sure yet, maybe on that side even. But I've been having issues with super lean fuel trims, and I thought it was rich at first, but it's not actually, and it's lean. And I could even have a leak in here somewhere, maybe a PCV valve, but I just put a new motor in and I'm still kind of working out the kinks of things, so everything's kind of running a little weird. But yeah, I'm gonna get onto that and I'll give you guys some updates. So I got the car all jacked up. Just a few minutes later, I come under here and I'm looking and I find that one of the bolts is completely missing. Well, that will cause a problem. I'm gonna go grab some bolts really quick and get that fixed. We hopping in the daily, boys. This thing's a Mercury Mariner hybrid. Can't even hear it start up. Alright, so we got our bolts. Just gotta stop for some gas really quick, and then I'll be back home to fix that exhaust leak and hopefully finish fixing the fuel trims and figure out why it's running so lean. Only gonna put about 10 bucks in it because not really too worried about it, but let's see how much 10 bucks got me from E. All right. From E, almost a quarter tank. Damn, I wish I could put 87 in my car. All right, boys, let's get her done. Okay, so after double, even triple checking every bolt, this one up here was loose. I put a new one on it. This one was gone, as you know. I fixed that, put a new one on. I made sure this one was tight, so they're all tight. Gasket's flush now. I checked all these to make sure they were good. Those were good. I checked those back here. I checked all of these back there. I checked these. Everything's tight. The gaskets are all squished in. So we are gonna try and put my plumbing spacer back on, because before I had a new motor, I had a plumbing spacer up here. This is my old plenum for my old motor, a bunch of old parts. So far I got the upper plenum off. Just gotta unbolt a few things. I had actually just lost a 10mm in the engine bay. It went back in there and I have no idea where it went. So I'm just gonna finish taking off this lower plenum and hopefully I can find it. Alright, so guys, it's actually the next day, and yesterday I had put the spacer on and everything, got everything back together. Put the intake on, bled the coolant, or not bled the coolant, but filled it up with coolant again because I lost a little bit of coolant from the line. Then I turn the car on and I get a code for a camshaft position sensor. Mind you, I did not touch this sensor yesterday. My car worked perfectly fine before this. So my sensor, I kind of fixed the prongs. They were bent, but it's good now. But the plug is back here and you can't really see it too well, but the plug is fucked. It's just done. So I gotta go get a new plug from a junkyard or something, and we're gonna go do that right now. So I just remembered I actually have my harness that came with the motor still, but the reason you can't use the JDM harnesses is because the alternator plug is actually different. So I had to switch the alternator and stuff over as well, but I'm gonna go try and clip the plug off the new harness and see if it's the same. Alright, so I got the connections plugged back in the butt connector. You can't really see it too well, but I'm in the process of putting throttle body intake back on, and we're gonna see if it starts up. Intake back on, throttle body back on. Plugs are all connected, hose is connected. Just gotta fill up this coolant a little. Lost a little bit, and then we're good to go. I'm gonna try and start it. Hey guys, this is post-recording Chad during the editing, and I was rewatching the video, and I kind of ended up cutting out half of the clips because it was just stupid shit that I had done that was just it was just dumb. So the right here where I'm cutting it off, I deleted a few clips of me starting the car, and it was squeaking really loud, and it was just a belt loose. A belt was loose. Somehow it came loose when I was working on it, and it worried me because it was squeaking every single time I started it. But then I tightened the tensioner and it was fine. But yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things where it's like, I don't want to put that in the recording because it's kind of weird and embarrassing. Because, you know, I had like multiple clips where I started it and it was squeaking, and I didn't want that in the video. But just know about right here, it does actually start, but I start having like a rough idle, and I kind of get to that in the next clip, and I'll explain more. I'll probably have more clips of me butting in. So I've been at this for like a few hours now, and it's just idling like shit. I mean, it drives fine to go around the block, and there's no sputtering or anything, but it's just idling so terrible. So first thing I thought to do, and I have no codes for it, no codes. So I don't think it's a cam sensor because I just rewired that and plugged it back in, and I made sure to check it after too, and it's good. My next thought is maybe a vacuum leak, but I'm gonna clean the MAP sensor first. I unplugged the battery, maybe reset something, but I'm kind of lost. I don't know. We'll see. Not hours, but maybe like an hour of testing random shit. I finally found a loose bolt in my plenum back here, and my throttle body adapter was finger tight. Mind you, this was not me that worked on my car yesterday. After I had left for work, my girlfriend was working on it, and she was like, "Oh, don't worry, babe, I got it." And she drives a G37, and she knows a good amount, right? But now, after tightening those bolts and fixing the vacuum leaks, perfect. No stutter idle, nothing wrong. I just gotta do the idle relearn because it's idling a little low, but it's not stuttering at all, and it revs nice. But I'm gonna do the relearn, clean my shit up, and yeah. So it is now the next day, and I figured out some other problems. Okay, so first of all, the complete wrong cam sensor was installed, and I was getting a code for, it's P0021, I believe that's what it was, and it's for advanced timing. And I was confused as to why I was getting this code, and I was doing a little more research, and I realized that my stepdad, he was the one who helped me installed the bank 1 sensor into the bank 2 slot. And you know, me, I didn't notice this is the one that's supposed to be in it. And I'm not too sure what the exact difference is, honestly. But I realized that I had 2 extra bent ones, like angled ones like this. And that's how I figured it out. But yeah, I'm gonna install this one and splice this connector because this is the one that goes to this, because they're for some reason not the same. But yeah, so hopefully this fixes it, and maybe even fixes the smoking problem. Because I feel like the advanced timing is maybe causing the injectors to stay open for too long, or maybe the valves are leaking oil in there. But if this doesn't fix it, then we're gonna have to do some more testing to figure that out. But first I need to address this code. Alright, so I got everything connected. Got the new sensor plugged in, the correct one. And I got the correct plug in because this one does not fit. So probably gonna have a few messages in the after editing of all this about, like, you know, mistakes that were made during the engine swap and stuff, and just so many different people worked on the car that it's so hard to, I mean, there were so many things I had to go back and fix. I mean, I had to fix an exhaust leak, I had to fix a vacuum leak, I had to fix a bunch of different stuff that was making the car run worse than it should with this newer motor. And it's just, I mean, so many things that I didn't even do personally, so I didn't even think to check them first. But I eventually did get it all figured out. Just with like school and work and everything, it did end up taking multiple days to figure out all the things that were wrong. But should have it all now. Battery's all connected, sensors are all connected. We're gonna hope she starts, but first I'm gonna clear a code for the ignition sensor. Gotta get this Scan tool plugged right in. I want the computer to read nice fresh data. Jeez, that's bright. It's all nice and clear. Success. No smoke. It's a good sign. Alright, so I've let her warm up. We're about to take her for a little test drive, see how she feels. After everything, this is the best she's ran since I swapped the motor, really. I mean, I don't think... Okay, so usually this is one around when it smokes, when I start to come to a stop, when it starts smoking. And there's no smoke. I mean, you can see back there kinda, but there's no smoke. We're going good. No smoke. That's promising. That is really promising. No code either. Man, this car's been down for like a month and a half. I missed it. Alright, let's check for some smoke, boys. No smoke. None. Finally, we fixed it. After days of testing, exhaust leaks, intake leaks, random shit, wrong cam sensors, we finally got it fixed. Let's go, boys. Alright, so if you made it this far, I know you probably thought to yourself a couple times, wow, this kid's a fucking idiot. So I'm just going to kind of diminish those comments from coming my way. So first of all, this is fresh off an engine swap. This was probably about a week after I put a new motor in. Still had some testing and like kinks to work out, like I said in the video. Well, I had about 5 or 6 different people help me do stuff, and I wasn't always there for those things that were done. And so some things I didn't check I didn't think to check first because I didn't really expect them to be a problem. So a couple of things that I addressed in this video is the exhaust leak, which I did fix first try, no problem. Obviously, it was just a few bolts loose. The second thing was, I believe it was the camshaft position sensor code that I was getting, and this was after I had put on the spacer and everything, and I had actually left for work in the middle of putting the spacer on, and as I said in the video, someone else worked on it, and there was a problem. They left the bolt loose, and this is why, if you want the things done right, you do it yourself. But yeah, that's on me, but it did get fixed. I just didn't think to check that first because I didn't do it personally, and I trusted the person that was working on it, and thought they were gonna do it right. But it's whatever. Got it fixed, no problem, no harm, no foul. So the other thing that happened was the smoke that was coming out the exhaust. See, this is about a week after actually recording this video, and I still haven't fixed the smoking. It's on and off, which makes me think it's PCV because the vacuum. So whenever I let off the gas, I had somebody drive behind me. Whenever I let off the gas, it kind of smokes a little bit, kind of puts a puff out. Not as much as it was before, but Another thing that I found was wrong after fixing the position sensor. Also, I'm not sure if the straight position sensor and the angled one actually have a difference. I just wanted to change it to the correct one, so that I knew that wasn't going to be a problem in the future, just in case. And also, I don't think the problem was the actual sensor itself. I think it was just a plug. But another thing that I found was wrong was the VVT solenoid on bank 2. I had started getting a code for that after this video. I had fixed it, then started getting a code for VVT. Or it was advanced timing on bank 2, intake timing on bank 2. And I started looking into it and noticed that the bank 2 solenoid plug, one of the wires was backed out of it. So I was like, well, that's going to be a fucking problem. So I fixed it, and no more code. My car runs way 100 times better than it did in this video. And I thought it was running better in this video, but now that I've kind of fixed everything else, it's so much better. Jeez. But yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. It's just a bunch of people worked on it, had a bunch of different problems I didn't even think to look at because I didn't do it personally, so I had to basically run through everything that could have been. And yeah, I mean, the car runs good now. I have a PCV valve on the way with an O-ring and new silicone hoses, so I know that those won't be a problem either. May record doing that, may not, I don't know, but I'll definitely update you guys on whether the smoking problem gets fixed or not. It definitely smells like oil, and it has a slight blue tint to it, so it makes me think that, I mean, all the symptoms kind of points to PCV valve, but if it's not, then I'm going to hope it's not piston rings. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.